Hello students, today in this lecture we will begin Ampere's circuital law. Begin from Ampere's circuital law in magnetism. Now what is Ampere's circuital law? So it is just like the Gauss law. As the Gauss law is having the significance in electrostatics, in the same way there is the Ampere's circuital law. As you have seen in the electrostatics, in the electric field, by using Gauss law, we can find the electric field due to a charged conductor of any shape, due to an infinitely long current, due to an infinitely long line charge, or due to the plane sheet of charge, or due to a spherical cell. You have found the electric field by using the Gauss law. So in the same way, here in the magnetism there is the Ampere's circuital law, and by using Ampere's circuital law, magnetic field can be found by any type of current carrying conductor. By any type of current carrying conductor we can find the magnetic field by using Ampere's circuital law. Means it is analogous to the Gauss law. Now what is the Ampere's circuital law? According to Ampere's circuital law, line integral of magnetic field, line integral of magnetic field which mathematically we denote as vector B dot vector dl, line integral of magnetic field over a closed path, over a closed loop, Closed loop means this integration is done over a closed loop. That's why this circle has been put over the sign of integration. So line integral of magnetic field over a closed loop is mu naught times the current threading to area enclosed by that loop, area enclosed by that loop. Means according to the Ampere's circuital law, line integral of magnetic field over a closed loop, that is integral B dot dl, closed integral B dot dl, is equal to mu naught times of the net current threading to the area enclosed by that loop. Now what is this closed loop? We will assume an arbitrary loop around the current carrying conductors. We will assume an arbitrary loop in such a way that this vector B dot dl can be evaluated over that loop. We will assume an arbitrary loop around the enclosing the current carrying conductors, in such a way that the vector B dot vector dl can be calculated over that loop. It is clear? Now see here. So this loop we call the Amperian loop. As you have seen in the Gauss theorem, we were assuming a Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface is a hypothetical surface. In the same way, this Amperian loop, it is also a hypothetical loop assumed in such a way that it is enclosing to the current carrying conductors. Means it is like this. Suppose here there are some current carrying conductors normal to the surface of this board. One current carrying conductor is carrying the current of 5 ampere perpendicular to the plane of this board in the inward direction. Another current carrying conductor here, it is having a current of 2 ampere carrying the current normal to the plane of board in outward direction. So we will take an arbitrary loop enclosing to these current carrying conductors in such a way that the vector B dot vector dl can be evaluated. It can be evaluated. So see here, we will not take here, suppose the loop is this on the plane of board. So we will not take the loop in such a way that the vector B is normal to the vector dl. We will not take the loop in such a way that the vector B is normal to the vector dl, normal to the this loop. And why? Because as we know that vector dl will be always along the loop. Vector dl will be always along the loop. So vector dl is this, because this is the vector along the length of the loop. Vector along the length of the loop. So if vector B will be normal to the vector dl, then what will happen? It will not be evaluated, it will become 0. As we know that what is the vector A dot vector B, scalar product between two vectors, it is A B cos of angle in between them. If there are two vectors, vector A and vector B at an angle theta from each other, so what will be their scalar product? What will be their dot product? Scalar product is also known as dot product. Then it will be AB cos theta. Theta is the angle between them. So if vector B and vector dl will be normal, then it cannot be evaluated. It's clear? So we will take the loop in such a way that the vector B dot vector dl can be evaluated over the loop. Number 2, it should enclose to the current carrying conductors. It should enclose to the current carrying conductor. And the third thing, we will take the loop symmetrical to the conductors in such a way that the magnitude of B at every point is same. Magnitude of B at every point is same. It's clear? It should be symmetrical in such a way that the magnitude of magnetic field at every point of the loop is same. So see here, I have taken two conductors. One conductor is normal to the plane of board carrying the current in inward direction. Another is carrying the current in outward direction, normal to the board. And we have taken this Amperian loop here. We have taken this Amperian loop. It's clear? Such that the magnetic field is not normal to the loop. Magnetic field is not normal to the loop. So what will be the net current threading to the area enclosed by the loop? What is the area enclosed by the loop? If you see here, area enclosed by the loop is here. This is the area enclosed by the loop. Means you can see here, threading means penetrating. Penetrating means penetrating from this side, entering from this side, coming out from the other side. Entering from one side and coming out from the other side. It's clear? That is the penetrating, that is the threading. So how much is the net current which is threading to it? Threading to the area of this loop. So see here, 5 ampere is going downward, 2 ampere is coming outward. So what will be the net current? If you see here, net current will be equal to, if you take this current as positive, so this will become negative. So it will be only 3 ampere. It will not be 7 ampere. It's clear? 3 ampere inward. 3 ampere inward. It's clear? So what will be the line integral of magnetic field over this? So line integral of magnetic field over this closed loop equals to integral B dot dl mu naught into 3. This mu naught is what? That you know, permeability of free space. Permeability of free space. So what is Ampere's circuital theorem? According to the Ampere's circuital theorem, line integral of magnetic field over a closed loop is equal to the mu naught times of the net current threading to the area enclosed by that loop. It's clear? It is the mathematical form of statement of Ampere's law. It's clear. Now by using Ampere's circuital theorem, we can find magnetic field due to current carrying conductor of any complexity at any point. In order to apply Ampere's circuital law, we will assume a hypothetical loop, hypothetical closed loop. When I am saying loop, means that will be obvious, it will be closed. We will take a closed loop. That loop is called the Amperian loop. What should be the properties of Amperian loop? Amperian loop should enclose to the current carrying conductor, due to which you have to determine the magnetic field. Number 2, it should pass through the point at which magnetic field is required. Number 3, the loop should be such so that the integral b dot dl or vector b dot vector dl can be evaluated over the loop. Means nowhere on the loop magnetic field direction should be normal to the loop, because if vector b will be normal to the vector dl, then vector b dot vector dl cannot be evaluated, And one very important thing, it should be symmetrical with respect to the current carrying conductors, so that magnitude of B at every point of the loop is same. Only it is differing in direction. Now, by using Ampere's circuital theorem, we can determine the magnetic field. So there are 3 applications of Ampere's circuital theorem in your course. First one is magnetic field due to a straight conductor, straight long current carrying conductor. Magnetic field due to a straight long current carrying conductor. So that I am going to discuss. It's clear. First application. So you can see here. Threading means it is the penetrating to the surface of the loop. It is entering from one side of the surface of Amperian loop and coming out from the other side. Now here this is the magnetic field due to long straight current carrying conductors. Now hereafter we will denote it by triple C. It's clear. Magnetic field due to long. Long means it is infinitely long. It's clear. Now see here. Here we have taken a long straight current carrying conductor. On the plane of paper I have taken. Here I have taken on the plane of paper. Now see here, this is a long straight current carrying conductor carrying the current I, and there is a point at a distance r from it at which magnetic field is required. So first we find the magnetic field at the point, direction of magnetic field at the point P. So you can see here already I have assumed that the current carrying conductor is lying over the plane of paper. So what will be the direction of magnetic field? By using right hand palm rule. Right hand palm rule says that thumb should be in the direction of current. and fingers should be towards that point at which field is required. Then perpendicular direction of pushing off the palm, perpendicular direction to the palm, perpendicular direction of pushing off the palm will be the magnetic field direction. So see here, you will keep in this way. So here it is pushing in what direction? Perpendicular to the plane of board in the inward direction. But in your case, it will be perpendicular to the plane of paper downward, because you are doing everything on the notebook, and notebook is horizontally placed. Here this board is vertically placed. That's why I am saying perpendicular to the plane of board inward. But you will write perpendicular to the plane of paper downward. It's clear? When I say perpendicular to the plane of board inward, it means for you it is perpendicular to the plane of paper downward. When I say perpendicular to the plane of board outward, means in outward direction, normal to the board outward, that means perpendicular to the plane of paper upward. It's clear? So here what will be the magnetic field? If you represent it, it will be represented by this symbol, because the meaning of this symbol is, which I told just now. If you have to find the magnetic field here anywhere, you can see when you will find magnetic field here, it will be normal to the plane of board in outward direction, means normal to the plane of paper in outward direction. So how will you represent it? You will represent it by this symbol. It will be represented by this symbol. It's clear? So we have to determine the magnetic field at the point P, which is at a perpendicular distance r from the current carrying conductor. So how will you find this magnetic field? So in order to determine the magnetic field at the point P, we will assume an Amperian loop. So here Amperian loop should be circular and passing through the point P. I am showing you what should be the shape of the Amperian loop. Yesterday I have shown you one circular ring I have shown. Here you can see here this is a current carrying conductor. This is a current carrying conductor. It is carrying the current in upward direction. It's clear? Carrying the current in upward direction. And this is the point P at which you have to determine the magnetic field. Here this is the point P. This is the current carrying conductor. And point P is this at which you have to determine magnetic field. So what will be the shape of the Amperian loop? Amperian loop will be circular, passing through the point P, and you can see here the plane of Amperian loop is normal to the conductor. Plane of Amperian loop is normal to the conductor. It's clear? What is the plane of the loop? Plane of loop is horizontal and conductor is vertical. Conductor is vertical. You understand this point? Plane of loop is horizontal and conductor is vertical. It's clear? So here also the plane of loop will be horizontal. So I am making here that imperial loop which passes through the point P. So imperial loop is circular having the center over the conductor and its plane is normal to the conductor. Plane is normal to the conductor, means it is like this way. This way it will be. This is the imperial loop. Empyrean loop. So now you can see here, in order to determine the magnetic field at the point P, where the direction is perpendicular to the plane of paper in downward direction, I have taken an arbitrary loop of circular shape having the center over the current carrying conductor passing through the point P in such a way that this is in the horizontal plane. It is normal to the current carrying conductor, and when it is normal to the current carrying conductor, already I have shown, due to this current carrying conductor at the center, what will be the direction of magnetic field? It will be in this direction. In this direction means here it is along the tangent to the imperial loop. If you find out here, it will be along the tangent to the imperial loop. Everywhere magnetic field will be along the tangent to the loop, means this will be the direction of magnetic field. This is vector B. You once again see here on the in the diagram, this is current carrying conductor, this passing through the center of imperial loop. This imperial loop, this is the imperial loop. What will be the direction of magnetic field at various points of the imperial loop? It will be along the tangent. You take point anywhere, direction of magnetic field will be along the tangent. What will be the direction of vector dl? That will also be along the tangent. It's clear? So here vector B and vector dl both are along the tangent. This is vector dl. One more thing, since the center of imperial loop is lying over the conductor, so you take any point on the imperial loop. Center is lying over the conductor, therefore every point from the conductor, every point of the loop is at same distance from the conductor. Since this conductor is passing through the center of imperial loop, therefore every point of the imperial loop is at same distance from the conductor, means this distance is same. Whether you take this point or this point or this point, anywhere you take, the distance will be equal to r. It's clear? Only it will change, B will change only in direction. Magnitude will remain same everywhere. Magnitude will remain same everywhere. So now you evaluate it. So from Ampere's circuital theorem, Ampere's circuital law, this line integral of magnetic field over the Amperian loop is mu naught times of the net current to the threading to the area enclosed by loop. So what will be I net here? If you see what is the area enclosed by the loop, so this area of this circle, how much current is threading to it? So you can see here the current which this conductor is carrying, that current is I. means here I net will be equal to I. So you simplify integral, it is b dl cos 0 degree, because both the vectors are in same direction, mu naught into I. So cos 0 degree is 1. Therefore it will be equal to what? B into dl equals to mu naught into I. As the value of B, magnitude of B is same at every point of the conductor, so what will be this? B you can take out common, integral dl equals to mu naught I. Now what will be integral dl? Integral dl, it is the sum of the lengths of that line segments over the imperial loop, sum of the lengths of various line segments over the imperial loop. It means it will be the circumference of imperial loop, circumference of imperial loop, because this integral is evaluated over the loop. Integral is evaluated over the loop, imperial loop. Now you can see here imperial loop is circular in shape, having the radius r. So what will be circumference? 2 pi r. So from here what will you write? You can see here b into 2 pi r equals to mu naught I. So b equals to mu naught I upon 2 pi r. We can rearrange it and write in more convenient form. And what is that? You can write here b, here there is a term mu naught upon 2 pi, you make it mu naught upon 4 pi. And why? Because we know the value of mu naught upon 4 pi. Since you have made it 4, so here you multiply with 2. So it is 2i upon r. 2i upon r. This is the formula of magnetic field due to a long straight conductor carrying current at a distance r from it. Now see here, if you go away from the conductor, what will happen to the magnetic field? When you go away from the conductor, r will increase. R will increase means magnetic field will decrease. Means B is inversely proportional to the distance of the point from the current carrying conductor. B is inversely proportional to the distance of point from current carrying conductor. If we draw the graph of B versus R, B versus R, B is what? Magnetic field due to long straight current carrying conductor at any point. R the normal distance, perpendicular distance of that point. If you draw the graph, so it will be a rectangular hyperbola. Here it is B, here it is R. It is just like as in case of the Boyle's law. As in case of the Boyle's law, you get the graph, it will be like this. This shape is known as rectangular hyperbola. It is clear. So once this question has been asked that what will be the shape of the curve of this variation B with R. So this is the formula of magnetic field due to a straight long current carrying conductor. It's clear. So in this lecture up to here, now in next lecture we will discuss the magnetic field due to the current carrying solenoid and magnetic field due to the toroid. All these three provings based on the Ampere's circuital law are in your course. So that we will do in the next lecture. Thank you.